And another tap, this time from Nico. One bullet from the USP puts down ZTR and puts Rez into an uncomfortable one. Head-to-head duel, he heard the step, he knows where you are. Goes both ways. Free firing, deleting, and now all up to the 1v1. Rez, he seems to have a good idea. He's expecting Nico towards the dark position. Process of elimination, clears it through, doesn't hit it. Nico secures it. Again, Rez, he knows how to make these rounds competitive. He's got the aim in combination with PR.
Well, we'll split the pistols there, and I'd say that's more impactful than the 4K he had on the rifle round early on within the first half piece. 3 kills there for the kid. And very, very good work, right? This is going to be the trade, which is necessary. You know, somebody run out there, a martyr, they need to be traded upon, but it's those next two to breach in towards that B site, give them an opportunity. Nico just does what is necessary, and the combination of these two riflers, the star power, gets them the 8th secure. There's going to be 2 MAC-10s. Rifles for the other 3 up against the force of GamerLegion. Scout, P7 and some 5.7s. Diagonal smoke wall dotted in. Kersey playing over the top. The only way to get past safely would be to play close to that smoke wall.
And it isn't Nico working yard.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep tabs on the T side as well, I suppose.
Kiyosuke's playing it very passive. Doesn't have support, doesn't want to give anything up. And Kersey missed opportunity with the first scout. Quick pivot, look at this. They know they want to have their numbers in the right place. So a full gamble down towards this B site, and already damage being inflicted. Now combined, Rez and PR working together to get the job done. Somehow the bodies keep dropping, just tapping away, whittling away at the Falcons. And it all falls to the new kid on the block. Weapons to be retrieved. ZTR scavenges away the AK as he descends in the vents. An audible retreat from Kersey. He's got 40 seconds to try and save Falcons, to save face.
I don't know how you win this.
Yeah, I don't see a world. They're above him. They're everywhere.
He might just save.
It's probably not a bad idea. $0 bank account. $0. 4 ahead of you. Do you want to give another AK to the mix? He's in 2 minds. He is in 2 minds right there.
Leering forward, having a look, doesn't get anything, and he's just going to back off towards Secret and save. But that was feeling way too easy for GamerLegion. They had so many bodies down towards B to deal with that, and the 5.7s once at that range, nobody was willing to make space there. I'm not sure which player it was exactly pushing along the railing, but nobody would swing, and you can see the corpses now littered over towards this window side. That's a really poor round to lose there, and I think ZTR knows exactly that, wants to let him know.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are the kind of rounds that you know, they can compound into tilt. It did come a bit too easy. Look at the fights. They're not glamorous. They're not, you know, incredible aim or instant deletion. That's just a 5.7 and combination.
And they've gone into the stack. So unlike Ash and ZTR's T-half, where they just completely outmaneuvered the Falcons. Falcons have just walked straight into the stack.
Yeah, a little run boost move from Falcons. Coordinated parkour, Cirque du Soleil style, to try and set him up for an opening versus what would have been Kersey. He's playing it passive with his scout, though, just playing for info.
Now, this is GamerLegion's opportunity to tie the game. I understand. So back to Nico on silo, so this is just hoping to force some rotations, or at least keep them in the dark.
Yusuke got nailed down there, softened up. They put the AK on his shoulders, and well, he doesn't get much done with that save.
Should be able to get this back because it is in the smoke.
Ooh, he actually knows that's what they're greeting for. PR! Outrageous moves.
Wow.
Such diligence.
Yeah, this kid definitely doesn't have the same level of shine to his name, but the delivery that we've seen out of him, he's fantastic too.
He's playing it so well, manages his angles, composed on the aim, and finishes it off. And 4th as well, quad kill from PR, and that's not his first.
17 and 13 right now.
I mean, incredible, impeccable. And up against a stacked roster, Nico performing up to par as well with 16.
And just to draw a couple more parallels, right? You think about there was a saved AK and some Deagles that were in the first half for GamerLegion, and they got a lot of damage out of that round. They put a lot of stress on Falcons. This is all, well, sorry, 4 out of the 5 staying alive. So very few dents being made, not stressful scenarios, just heads up Counter-Strike. And here it is. This is going to be a drawn out eco from Falcons to allow the siphonage of utility. But all in all, we'll just be seeing them playing on T-roof, using it as a jungle gym. guess this is a good time as well to reflect on what we had seen from
Tadi
Falcons in
aku
the previous
solo
season with
main
Magisk in the roster.
dapat nuk
You
anjir.
had Tesses, who would be supporting outside from Silo. Nico would be heading yard, as we'd all expect. You'd have Magisk in lobby.
Itu nggak
Don't
menang.
worry about ramp. Kicks in, throwing a lot of the utility towards yard, and then Monacy has that flex piece.
Yeah, understandably.
So we'll see in that anti-force round. Kisuke was outside, so we'll see if he finds himself out there again. As this is a pantomime round.
Yeah, I have to make the sounds, actually. I have to provide them. Hang on. Sounds really realistic, I think.
I think, yeah, your practice has been paying off, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, Eco, done, dusted, and we're all tied up 8-8. So let's see, down the stretch, GamerLegion. They're going to keep up this level of play. It is the quote-unquote easier of the sides, and Torsen will even upgrade away from that MP7, so rifles are plenty.
This is going to be a very telling round, okay.
What's the opener for Falcons? Is it to let your players play, which would be par for the course, as Kisuke going outside, so...
He's going to meet Rez. They're going to have a head-to-head here. Looks like Rez wants to fight. Backing his aim, and Kisuke prevails.
They're really going to try ramp. PR, he's on the boost. It's with the AK.
Why does it feel like we got another PR quad kill coming in? Anti-flash, telegraph. Does he go? First is good. Quick trade. Towson in response, though, strafes in to support. Oh, love that. Relentless in their pursuit of the trades. Kersey gets another now. Kiyasuke, he actually seems aware of ETR's potential positioning. Oh, didn't diligently clear it. And so his back is turned and he goes on down. GamerLegion erupt. Massive round from Towson. Picks up the slack that PR left.
Yeah, it felt like hell was a bit of a clown car there, wasn't it? Right? You just get bodies swinging out, taking those fights, catching them in the bottleneck. Torsen with the double, and then Kersey, he's like, well, I'm swinging too.
Here I come.
I'll avenge my boys, and that was really where the difference was made over towards ramp. So
it was like he extinguished, like he swung immediately with it as well. Like they had that like false expectation that they could start to move. Towson gets the double kill, and here comes Kersey straight away through the flames. Subverts the expectation and actually forces a timeout. Zonic, that's his first. He's feeling like now is the time to hit that panic button.
Oh, when the headset is off as ETR, so this should be...
Oh yeah, it might go tech.
Bit of a technical, so we can all take a little bit of a breath right now. Happy Saturday.
Yeah, the weekend, baby.
Stage 2. We're going to have that running Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and then we'll have our 6 teams locked in for the Lanxess, the Cathedral of Counter-Strike, next weekend.
Tercomeback lagi kah?
Will Vitality continue to reign supreme? That's the question on everybody's lips. Or have some of these
Timing.
high-power upgrades. The arms race.
Kau nonton bola kah apa?
I want to talk about the other arms race, the one that's on our screens as well,
nonton
which
bola
is the removal of Slend, the addition of Kersey, excuse me, GamerLegion, reformatting, and they've always been quite a disruptive force. I don't think this is...
Time out dah kan?
Oh, dah.
Aku nonton di YouTube tadi.
First of all,
Pindah dah.
I'll bring into the account that this is the first big boy tournament coming out of the break. Obviously, we did have Fisher. Second of all, the map pool changes, how that's going to impact teams. Third, the fact that they have gone for Kiyasuke as their upgrade, somebody untested in the Tier 1 Counter-Strike realms, even though he is mechanically brilliant. Already putting on a good show here today, towards the top of the scoreboard. 13 kills for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, GamerLegion, there's so much press around a coach like Ash and what he brings to the team. And then their pieces, well, this is the revival of Rez. This is PR, the next gen. And then Torsen appears to be a strong piece, does what the team is required of him. Kersey's the one that we are learning about. Now, it wasn't just the benching of Slend. There was the whole Dallas scenario where he couldn't get a visa. It felt a little bit convenient because they used A-Core to stand in. They had a pretty decent performance. And then they didn't want to stick with A-Core or Slend.
Can you imagine
tried something new.
Yeah, sorry, mate. It's weird. Your visa's like, it's just not... I don't think it was submitted on time or something. That's weird. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
Your passport. No, it did get lost in the mail. No, but I got it right here.
No, Acor's got one.
Yeah.
He's got one, so, yeah.
I think you start the break now, actually. We don't have the mail. Yeah, we want to give you an extended holiday.
Yeah, I bet they have... My point being is that they have been, competitive up against big names, and so that's something that is really unfamiliar to Kersey. I was speaking to Shocks, everyone's favorite Frenchie, and he was telling me that everything is unfamiliar to him. The fact that setting up his SSD was new. To be fair, you could say the same is for Kioske. presumably this is all very unfamiliar to him as well. However, the amount of press, the amount of attention drawn by this guy on your screens completely pales, you know, in comparison for Kersey. He hasn't done anything, hasn't had that same amount of attention, and yet he is in that same unfamiliar feeling.
I'd prefer to be in Kersey's position.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot less pressure and expectation.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially when your team have been designed for trophies and struggling to pick them up, and you're supposed to be the catalyst to change that.
The meme is, yeah, just one more superstar signing, just one more.
Simple for Kixon. Imagine.
I thought you meant the smokes, because he made him look
He did?
exactly that.
I really liked the instas they were throwing. GamerLegion had their own approach, very cheeky. All right.
You need to get some value out of this partial.
Well, there's a clear game plan, like a kind of second wave of smokes. Already, there is a body down there.
Kayak tak guna smoke tapi
They remain silent, not announcing their presence. However, Rez is on very much high alert.
Nggak
He's just
yang
playing for
tadi
info. Jump
Kioske
spot.
itu.
Kioske gets one deagle shot, and it's actually not going to connect. Kixon has elsewhere, though. Does that pivot them? Yeah, it looks like it will.
You got time to work with, so starting to get decent output. Another kill, maybe a plant. You'd be very happy with that.
Oh, but yeah, they're right to assume that Rez might have got a little more active, a little further forward, a little more vulnerable, susceptible. How does he play this? An important trade. Kioske delivers. Bomb going down towards that B bomb site. Like you said, another kill, a plant. Is that plant a reality? Looking good to do so.
Honestly, just has to hold vent and they win the round. Well, they're in. So,
Holding vent.
avenues for the
Martero ni
retake are
Martero.
available.
No,
Okay.
Nok ni Martero.
CTR's allowed to slip through. Late ramp arrival from Towson. Tess has just looked away, averts his gaze, and he gets punished for it. Attention drawn. CTR pokes his nose out, closes the door, gets another.
Anjir,
A little
pala
bit of fakery, a little bit of trickery. Bomb is still ticking, though. Pressure on. Despite the man advantage, they still have to get onto that bomb defuse. CTR gives it a tickle. Swings on in, found by Kixon. Rotting that clock. PR swings in.
mantap
Headshot
ini
from
sih.
Monacy. The win is theirs. It's all theirs. Falcons still one back.
Yuk, comeback
Do you
lagi.
know, I
Yuk.
actually believe that became more confusing for Falcons because walking in after you take down Rez, Tessus gets the ramp space. It seems too good to be true.
Itu yang
That there
hijau-hijau
isn't
tuh
somebody else
pengangkat
on
tangan
B.
kan?
You're thinking,
Yang
wait,
ada di
if they're
mereka tuh.
playing in this configuration, why is there not somebody else already down here?
Bukan ya?
And that's why I said all they have to do is hold vent. But the expectation from Falcons is that there has to be a couple more bodies down here to deal with this. So very well done. I said they needed to get a
Kalau yang pengangkat tuh yang apa ya? Yang itu dong waktu itu ada tuh.
and now put the CT economy in a rougher position, that's for sure. It's a great way to kick things off.
Tidak lembab.
Okay.
Kan ada tuh yang beda sejuk tuh tangan tuh.
Itu ya tu. Gigil.
Menggigil pas turnamen kan.
Aggressive orbit from Kersey, trying to subvert the expectation in front of that trophy smoke.
So they haven't really got what they were hoping for because Rez will still see the secret cross very early. He's that canary in the coal mine. So there's nothing outside. It's more if they're pivoting in front of that, and there's also bodies who are currently glancing in that direction. Kersey forward with the AWP can also segregate this top pop.
Especially if it's the bomb coming in last. Sure, you got the opener. Oh, he's missed it! Monacy allowed to escort the bomb in. Tessa's double entry. Hang on. Maybe, just maybe, this 2-on-2 still has legs for GamerLegion, despite the shortcomings of the AWP. He gets another. Doesn't use that nade to break the smoke. It does insignificant damage to Monacy instead. To Monacy, missed shot. He's had a few of those. Draws attention. Rez is expected. Kiyasuke controls. And Kersey got to try and get out of there before Monacy hunts him down. Convincing sequence from Falcons to finish.
Pelatihnya beda seorang ya baju ya.
Harder if you lost the bomb in lobby.
Yeah, look, under the pressure to hit those
Pelatih
shots. We even
tuh,
had a season
Falcon
vet
tuh.
like Device yesterday, just missing quite a few as
Baju
well.
bahunya tuh hitam warnanya.
This is Tesses breaking in. Beautiful work from him onto ZTR, and he's not even seeing his opponents, is he?
Sama ukuran bajunya beda gak, Ru?
Smoke wallbang.
Iya
The
sih.
second was flash smoke wallbang. Yeah,
Beda
no,
lah.
that's just crazy
Kalau
muscle
sama
memory from
semua.
Tessus. Reacts to the chaos, the pandemonium of the execute, and does open up the site. Timeout called. Is that the last from Ash?
It is, and he knows that
Jam berapa mulai lari tuh?
could be going down the Swanee quite
Setengah
quickly.
6.
2400
Setengah
meters
6.
into the next. They've been able to get out the AWP again.
Buat
ZTR into the
jam
nerfed MP9.
Itu apa sih, maraton nggak bukan?
And forwards for the other two,
Bukan,
PR and
10 kilo.
Rez. When given the
10
opportunity,
kilo.
they have been delivering. So if you can
Mana
keep
sampai
them out
mana
of the
tuh?
play, you know, one's towards ramp, one's towards
Dari
yard.
kode
Try to avoid them.
dam
The
yang
rest
gaya tuh.
a bit more
Kodam,
susceptible to
kodam.
go down.
Sampai
Now,
hutan.
for Kersey and ZTR,
Sampai
a little
belakang-
for Torsten.
Belakang perpustakaan.
Oh,
But it is also
singkat lah.
conjunction with
Singkat lah
positions
itu.
that they do play.
5
Singkawan
cm.
lagi.
So apart
McD,
from
McD.
one round right now from
Parkir
Falcons,
McD.
Kan
quickly become 3.
Ujungnya kan
They can
hutan.
wipe the board in this one. Monster still towards yard.
Iya, serah aku lah.
How do they respond to the smoke wall? It's up again. A ramp push. Rez and PR taking a little bit of space. Kersey will get nothing for the troubles with the HE.
Rez and PR, a reaction to that absence of information, and ZTR's MP9 works out. Walks into Squeak, finds his.
Waduh.
Kersey on the pixel, finds Monacy.
Oh lama.
Back of a GamerLegion timeout,
Tembak.
and they are laughing.
biar kena
Starting
report.
strong with 2.
This is... I don't love the approach.
Jangan
They
nampak
could've
benar.
just used the smoke
Acting
screen
dia,
across
cowok,
secret and then
atau
try and
Berakting
find
loh
Kersey
dia.
who actually picked up the AWP, and they're going to keep searching for fights.
Hoping for an overextension. Kersey
Wah,
lets
wallbang.
through the corner.
Fake tuh.
Very nice shot, puts him on 8 HP. And Suke low. Kersey ensures he's put lower.
Ah, Niko miss. Udah lah, mending kau pakai Deagle ya, Niko.
Should have
Ya.
opportunity for that fight
Double
to go
miss.
his way, but now this one's cooked.
Maybe the best Kersey round yet.
Yeah, most definitely. That's a lot of impact felt.
And
Round
it
one.
stops the CT economy from getting broken at this point of the game. So it just kicks in.
Thesis
He's
cacat
not really going to have too much to say in a round like
Sekarang
this. And
ganti
yeah, I just think
thesis.
use the smoke wall,
Thesis
get
ganti
down.
simple
You're in a
dah.
3v5 disadvantage. Change the playing field. But instead they
Simple
back
udah tua
themselves
dah.
and go, all right, well, we're better than these guys. Let's just shoot.
Niko tua kak.
And unfortunately, you get nothing.
Nggak bisa berebut AWP nanti
Most
sama
definitely
Malaysia.
getting nothing. When you look at this setup, this jiggly setup between the Reds and PR crossfire, you're not getting in.
Pas Munisi pas
Kixon doesn't
pas
even
Kixon
try.
apa?
I just
Kixon
like the
Kixon
I
drop
guess
AWP tu.
timing GamerLegion used in that
itu.
round. So they had Torsten and ZT both
Langsung berebut lari.
two
Udah
minds.
pencet
No,
pencet
maybe not
itu.
in 2 minds. In the
Oh,
ability
spam
to
dengan
do
tu.
friction. If we do now start to get some friction in lobby, we can always
Munisi
still drop
juga.
back and hold top.
Siapa
If we're
cepat
ready to go
dapat
with
tadi.
our ramp players, we can pincer into lobby. They get that kill onto Tessus for
Ah,
free.
tu
and
kau
then
tengok
the
baju
rest
tu, beda
of the
seorang
room
tu.
outside. And then they don't even need to worry about the rotation. Because if they had just piped
Oh,
out
kayaknya
secret,
jahit
oh,
baju
yeah,
tambahan tu.
actually drop
Jahit
down
kain
and
tambahan.
they're
Baju
gonna respond to
kecil.
it. No, they
Kurang
just sit
bahan.
outside, they
Kurang
don't
bahan
get
tu.
the headway,
Nambah
multiple
kain tu.
casualties, and now Zonic has given another 30 seconds for Ash.
Itu
So
nanti
keeps
kan
it safe
coach
to
ni.
AK. Yusuke able to buy an AK of his own. Tessus
Nambah bahan baju yang lama yang hitam itu ah.
or an AK
Tak
depending
dipakai.
on the util requirements. Then Nico might
Garis
just be
ukuran
down to a
kebesaran
deal.
dia.
Seems to be his weapon of
kecil-kecil
choice
semua
when
badan.
he can't get the AK-47. And yeah, Monacy just
Dia seorang
completely
ni.
unawares that he was scoped in, but
Kursi.
angle advantage to Kersey.
Inilah
Yeah,
dia.
massive round
Cukup
from
permak.
the new addition to GamerLegion's ranks.
Ada. Betul kan? Susah.
Tessus
bang.
is going to take the kill of the Deagle, gives Nico a Galil.
Tambal baju banget dia.
So
Kecian.
finances will be the conversation. One of these two teams getting broken at this point might spell disaster in the end of the map.
Behind this smoke wall
Iya,
lies the
Tessus yang
Falcons
baik
trio.
mati.
Ya kan? Banyak mati kill belum belum digit.
They slink silently into this double secret.
Oh dear.
Oh, they're reaggressing. Get your knife away, boys. They're coming for you. Monacy,
Oh.
gotta get more than one.
Alah.
The Galil connects.
Oh,
and so does
nice.
Nikos.
Nice.
That's a
Cool.
big one. Tessus, that Desert Eagle needs to find something here. At least it's
Alah,
just
ni Tessus
confirming
ni.
the presence of PR on
Aduh,
ramp.
granat.
Mati. Oh.
Cut down to half HP. Kixon anticipating this reaggress with a fake runaway.
Oh,
Straight
alah!
side.
Udah pas tuh.
Quick reaction shot from him puts us back into an even keel.
Udah momen dah tuh di garap kanan dah.
He's actually starting to investigate
Asli.
into that Deagle, and Tessus confirms, okay, one ramp,
Alah.
one hut.
Yeah, so do you want to brute
Bisa
force
bisa
into B
PR
right?
udah
Surely.
low dah tuh. 1
Smoke drop
HP.
forward, that will force the
Pada gobi
rotation. PR heads
kata
down. Needs
polisi.
support
Clear,
before he
clear,
can
clear.
give this one a go. Kersey not too far behind. Monacy would love to punch in the digits and will.
Aduh. Oh, untung.
Would have been the end of PR had he thrown it now. Perhaps a bit
Untung
late.
spamnya tak kena.
Yeah. 6 HP.
Tipis.
Kita
Wah,
Nelson
Mak,
sets
udah
the
low, Bang.
success.
Oh, dapat
Found
munisi.
the trace.
Seru anjir.
Monacy delivers
Ini
us his
ada dengan
second.
seru nih.
Very trying times now for
Berasa main kau.
CPR.
Oh,
Smoke, maybe there could be a chance.
It
But
feels
right
like
now,
Kersey's just said, yeah, sorry, mate.
yeah, you're on
iya,
your own.
pakai baju Falcon enggak lah.
Circumnavigating the site, just
Oh,
making sure
ah.
that everything's in order.
Menang nih,
The
nih.
buttons
Pakai baju
still
Falcon
working.
nih.
Yeah, this nuclear
Menang,
reactor
menang.
will go off. I better get out of here.
2-0 nih.
Hello. What are you doing over there?
I like the fact that we just saw from
2-0 dah ya.
Kersey that he's
Nggak tahu
willing
nggak
to
sih.
jump.
Yes. Yeah, that
Itu kalau bab
It's-
keduanya
it's
apa
like,
tadi?
Okay, so you don't always have to be
Harus
setting me
percaya
up with the
proses
swing.
dia.
I'm willing to put my life on the line. I traded, and he knows he's got quality
Kayak
around
Mourinho.
him. So saving the AWP.
Abis ini Napi, tak punya pula nih.
Kiosk
Baju Napi
being
aku.
baked. Monacy and Nico cleaning up and cleaning house. That's that
Napi tak
trio
main
1-yard working magic to put 11 on the board for Falcons.
Kenapa tak ada main di IEM?
So with both
Main,
teams
habis
towards
ni,
the bottom
Nafi
of the barrel
Paze.
as far as the loss bonus is concerned,
iya
this
ke?
will just be back and forth, and you're likely to see more saves, but there's not many rounds to work
Oh,
with.
sebelah jitu.
MP9 for
Furia,
PR,
Menang.
auto shotty for Towson.
Jitu tipe
Crowd pressure
apaan?
for Tessus.
Yeah, okay, Tessus, he wants to ask questions and not bad
Jitu
for
tipe
PR,
apaan?
gets
Tak
his.
pernah dengar.
Tim
Short
Amerika.
round blast, Tessus,
Amerika
however,
Israel.
really has had a rough time on Nuke versus
Tim
PR.
Israel.
Menang
His
jitu.
nemesis, CTR. Puffs up his chest,
Comeback
trying
kah?
to deter.
Belum.
Ya,
finish
comeback
on
lah
B.
deh. Gitu aja.
Balance there between
Anjir.
restraint and getting into the site to give yourself
Ap-
a
apa
good
nih,
position
comeback
to
nih?
work with, but he will need
Iya.
support and quickly.
He's gone around.
Fury ya?
Oh, enggak,
Diligent
kalah.
util,
Oh,
everything
tak
covered.
tak
And
tengok
the
tak
loss
aku.
bonus, if they don't get this
Oh,
one done, they
sebelah.
might have to save.
Nice,
Smoke
untung.
exposes himself, does not deny
Let's
the plant.
go.
Untung tak sih jam kreditnya.
And Suke gets it down.
Menang di sini.
Auto shotgun
Menang sih,
on
Menang,
the
menang.
retake.
Amankan 12
Yeah,
so, amankan 12
maybe
so.
if you toss and hang around
Kata
to do some
coachnya,
damage, you get
amankan
an upgrade,
12 so,
but for the other
habis
two,
itu
definitely
slow-slow
hold
lah
on to
kita
the
ada.
AWP in the M4.
Ya.
This is
Aman
12
kalau
for Falcons. On
habis
their
itu
way
AWP
with
lah
the
semua.
ball.
Geger lah
Hasn't
semua.
been easy. Everyone said it was meant to be. It's their opponent's map
Higgins juga.
choice, and they're only 5
Oh,
kills away
saving
from
ya
getting
mereka.
the job done. This
Save.
round is secure. Safe
Terus
and
saving
sound.
di mana tuh?
Yeah, and I mean, it's stark contrast, right, to that messy one we saw.
City kan?
Tengok di bawah tuh kayak teleport yang kalau nomor 8 tuh.
Bolts into the side, diligent util, shotgun does find himself a chance at an upgrade if
Belum sempat.
Kioske
Wah,
do that though.
Oh.
It's denied. Kersey gets away with his orb.
kursi ini balak sekali ya.
Upgrade gets that shotgun taken out of his hands. Ash trying to
Makanya bala je, the next dong ni orang
Timeout,
bilang.
Kenny.
Aku tak
No, sir.
That's the best he can do. Some claps, a couple of words of reassurance.
tengok ke
Give you some
cuplikan-cuplikan
eye
dia.
contact.
Belum
Well,
masuk
look,
aku.
let's return to the second
Oh,
round.
belum ada
of
sih
this
masuk
half.
aku.
They were able to win it
Bisa.
with a lot of 5
Masih
seconds,
muda,
right? So there's no
tapi tu
reason that they
potensial
can't win with
player
some lighter
sekali.
upgrades. That's already been shown within this. But if
Masih-
this map does fall
masih
in favor of
bocah.
Falcons, I'm looking at round number 18. I'm looking at Kixon getting an entry with a
Oh.
Tech 9.
Bocah
I'm
kah
looking
yang
at them
kursi tuh?
snatching
Kok
away around
mukanya
and throwing GamerLegion off kilter.
Kursi.
Kersey,
Ah,
aggressive
kursi.
wall pick.
Kira aku Kyosuke. Kau bilang.
Ya kioske ya balak.
And they're being held, but
Wah,
Nico
itu lah
goes down.
kursi ini tadi kill open
Oh, iya.
lah.
Gets away as well, opening kill. Perfect in their
Oh,
pursuit
balas sih.
of two
Habis ini kursi
consecutive.
masuk gantikan Teses. Berebut AWP, berebut.
Falcons.
Enti berebut AWP dengan munisi.
Kiosuke down,
Teses.
Rez perfectly placed
Digantikan
crosshair.
kursi,
No
simple
question
masuk
about his
gantikan
AWP
Kiksan.
as he
Nah,
continues to deliver. Kersey
Le.
approaching
butuh
towards
3
Red.
AWP di Falcon.
Looks like they'll have company. Monacy, Tessus. And the late piece of this.
Kursi pakai
being
kursi
Kixon,
gaming
the
sih
three
dia.
of them need to fight
Coba
forward
kasih
in this
kursi plastik yang warna hijau atau biru tuh undangan.
maybe 5 scenarios.
Undangan. Kursi besi, kursi acara,
I presume Monacy's going to flash for
kursi
this.
besi yang pakai bantalan tu.
Nggak, kursi plastik ya yang nggak ada tangannya, yang cuma kursi
Just
duduk
jiggling
ya.
around.
Boleh. Yalah, kau nak pakai yang kursi yang bagus sikit lah. Wih, tak
Wih.
kena.
To the shoulder, baits him in. Monacy
Mantap sih
brings him
Monacy.
down. Okay, that's awkward. That's a clawback.
OP
from
ngon
Falcons.
AWP.
How much info did they
Ay,
get? Because they don't know
ada
if anybody
mekanik dia.
slipped down secret. You can
GTR
see
bilang,
CTR's
"Weh,
position,
B0,
he has
B0
no
kata."
idea. He's playing so safe. He only has that SMG in his hands.
They're making the wiser of the two options here. They are walking into the less guarded site.
Siap-siap
You want to
ZTR.
remain silent, not announcing your presence, and be diligent on your clears.
GTR,
Kursi
GTR.
ni apalah nama asli ya?
High angle,
Apa?
firing an MP9 perhaps. Here we go.
Kursi
Announcement
gaming.
of presence. CTR readies himself. PR
Wah,
made
alah.
it down towards Deacon as well to be disruptive. A jumping MP9. Monacy removes PR.
Oh,
though, CTR.
Aku tuh pause, jadi delay.
All falls to Towson, MP9 at range. Tessa
Funny.
should have the distinct advantage here, but Towson wins it out, finds the M4, can win this, can save GamerLegion. Falcons,
Walah.
Towson. Massive clutch to keep him in
Dapat
it.
pula tuh.
Gokil Suki atau
Good
Malaysia
grit, good
dapat tuh. Atau
determination
Nico.
right there to stay in that one. Kersey, before he goes down, gets the kill onto
Aduh.
Nico. Rez ready for Kiyosuke, trying to play ahead of the smoke wall.
Tak
There's
jadi
a
lagi.
3v5
Apa
advantage
sih?
that they almost
Aduh.
let fall.
Fixing
Towson
malah
coming in clutch, keeping
Otte,
them
otte.
alive, and just one more of those, and we'll take this thing to
Fixing biar
overtime.
Ah, tuh,
biar
tengok tuh
aku
headsetnya tuh.
Right, losing that
Nggak full
launch
sinyal
internationally
headsetnya.
60 HP, but
Nge-lag.
Jadi,
he's in the
aku siapa bisnis?
Perhaps
Ah,
uncertainty as to where that
salah
fight
bisnet
is
sih.
coming from, but it is a massive
Masa sinyal 2 batang ya tengah turnamen?
You're hoping in this one, what you just discussed there, that Zonic said, hey,
Sinyal
forget
lah,
about that round. I know that
Sinyal
it's-
headsetnya 2 batang ya tuh, nggak
We
full.
were at a massive disadvantage. We lost two of our
HP.
starters in the opening exchanges. and then
Baterai
we
tu.
Ah, tuh.
Tengah
to
semua
get the
baterai.
bomb down and
Si Tesos
also
tuh
keep their
lepaskan
flash
telinganya
moving.
tuh
Means
karena
the Torsos
delay.
operating with an MP9 again. Sure. Broken bite for that of the Falcons.
Suara
2
delay.
Ds, 2 AKs.
Oh, suara
AWP,
delay.
but it's better than it would have been otherwise.
Salah bisnet sih.
This is just that recap of those opening two you saw
Salah Discord
and
tu.
discussed. CTR even catching Monacy, but it was just that little pick off onto PR. Doesn't matter in the end. Towson with impact. Couple of Desert Eagles in priority in pursuit of nades. Run boost for Monacy this time to set the AWP up for a little opening gambit.
Ya, aku belum ngecas HP.
Cas, jangan lupa
Whereas
cas.
Wise to the potential for an AWP
Yes,
using that
yes.
smoke to relocate.
HP ku sih masih 99.
As he finds that elevated angle,
Sombong
albeit
loh.
a little late. Kersey
Cukup
tasked
cas
with an early
semua.
behold. If they try and go down secret stairs, he will be that canary in the coal mine.
Wih,
Apa?
Starts to
hancur
probe,
cool.
asking questions
Liverpool
of
kah?
container. I think he may have spotted the shoulder of Kiyosuke.
Kursi bunuh Kioske
Puts him
gitu.
down.
Anjir.
Another man advantage, this time not 2 immediately. So
And another opening back-to-back rounds from
this is
Kersey.
perfect from PR. He should have 2.
Oh, just as he throws his nade, that's exploitable. Tessus has a go. Nico
Alamak.
quick to the trade.
Nggak threat sih.
Freebie for
Wah,
Monacy.
ay,
What's
nice
that free?
Monacy.
Damn, Rez even finds the headshot just
Monacy.
before he goes down. So a 3-on-3 with an aggressing AWP.
Walah, kursi. Oh, bagus, bagus. Oh, apa pula aku halangan? Bagus, miss. Wah.
Apa lah kan?
Salah, salah.
It's going to be
Alah.
remiss to do that one.
Zita's loud. Honestly, heard
Kan
this.
keralat aku bilang. Bagus, bagus loh.
Heard this, and that'll be that.
Weh, tak jadi OT, yes.
Falcons get the job
Tak jadi
done.
OT. Orang
All
tua.
the way, all the
Tak jadi
rounds
OT.
required. But on debut with Kiyosuke, the map will be theirs. Will the series? It's one to be
Kiyosuke
proud
pasti
of. They've
habis
come
selesai
out of
tadi,
the lab.
langsung
They've made another change. It is against GamerLegion. The people at home maybe on name value thinking there should be no chance, but this is a team, especially on a technical map, not to be trifled with. Good stuff.
Makan no.
Sila.
Hi, my name is Kiyosuke. I joined Falcons. The teams I played before, it was only one team. It was Spirit Academy. The coach, Sotsvik, teach me everything. I learned from him a lot. I found out about CS, just my older brother showed me, and I was getting better and better every day. My manager in Spirit Academy, he just told me in TeamSpeak Falcons interested in you, and negotiation started. Not a lot position changed. We been hard working all the bootcamp. I think everyone in the team enjoyed. I think I'm best at aiming and crosshair placement. I'm trying to improve it. I don't feel like that pressure as people talk. I don't feel that.
Yes, the
of
next
course
door.
I'm ready. That's why I'm joining Falcons.
Oh, Bumbler. Anjay, M4 hole sticker. Damn.
It was a scrappy game between Falcons and GamerLegion, but the Falcons just managed to eke it out right at the end, 13-11. Kyosuke in his debut, 17-16. It was PR for GamerLegion, who actually looked like the brightest crayon of the box.
Stole the show.
Yeah, it was great.
He stole the show, but unfortunately just a little bit one bridge too far for GamerLegion. It seems like the experience from Falcons manages to shine through at the very end, but yeah. That was not a pretty game of
The
Counter-Strike.
experience shined through at the end, but I was shocked that the experience didn't shine through at all during the game. Retakes for me especially were like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Lack of patience, lack of waiting for the second half of retakes, coming back into that lower bomb site a number of times. I mean, GamerLegion put so much pressure on them. Falcons just felt disjointed in those scenarios.
Felt like Falcons won due to firepower.
Yeah.
Right? Like there wasn't much there in gun rounds, really. Some of those situations, like you mentioned, where they have the advantage, where team play shines through more. They fumbled them a little bit, but on the other side of things, where they were at a disadvantage,
Yeah.
and the players sort of needed to step up, they did, and managed to bail them out of a tough situation.
Yeah, this is round 9, obviously, so we're going to get a... Yeah, go on.
Yeah, full eco, just a couple of upgraded pistols, right? Monacy gets one through the smoke, Tessis, Nico, GamerLegion trying to change the pace. There's always a risk, you know, doing it blindly, and Falcons were sort of ready for it. That's what they were playing for in this eco, just managing to find the early kills, and then for once playing the number advantage situation much better.
And they really needed that round win because that's when GamerLegion was really putting the pressure on them, like really fast-paced rounds, getting down secret quickly, getting into ramp rooms, getting into like they were going very fast early on, and I think it threw Falcons off a little bit to start this game.
Yeah, I think also they won every single round after this, right?
Yes.
The Falcons did, right? So they were 5-3 in the hole, about to be 6-3. Instead, they managed to go on a roll in this game. That was the difference maker. But yeah, the gun rounds were a little bit of a struggle. We got a glimpse of how they're going to set things up. Nico stays outside on the CT side. Kyosuke goes over on ramp, which I think is a good way to do it. You know, look at someone like Vitality, that's where Rops is, Mouse, that's where Jimmy is, so it is still an important position where he can find impact, and he had that great 4K early on.
And it's obviously not as much of a static position as you might initially think with how much teams are pushing in towards lobby. We saw Kyosuke do the number of times. What do you think of his game overall? Because obviously all eyes on him in this new edition. Obviously, you could see the mechanics, you could see the skill, you could see the sharpness, that quad kill he gets over in ramp room when they're peeking into him, but I feel like we didn't get a complete game quite yet, which I guess in a way is to be expected with Falcons bringing in a new player and having to switch things around.
Yeah, I think maybe Falcons as a whole, you could see the nerves of the first game with the new roster a little bit.
Rust out of the break.
I can imagine that the communication wasn't really on point, wasn't crisp, that things were a little bit all over the place for them in this game, but hey, most important thing is you find a way to win, right? And you can address all those things in WOD review.
Now let's touch on PR, and I'm going to add Rez into the equation for the GamerLegion side of things, because PR obviously lit up the scoreboard, led the way for GamerLegion, but man, Rez was having impact. Like this whole thing about like rejuvenating the career in GamerLegion, it continues, because he's still sharp, he's still got game, and he was hitting some banging headshots.
He was, and the interesting thing is when either PR or Rez has a 1.2 or higher rating, like GamerLegion wins 90+% of their games, right? And PR had over 1.2 rating, but still wasn't enough because of some blunders, man. Like, you know, and sure, they played well individually, but then also in some moments, like, things really fell apart for them. Even in the second half, like, there was another anti-eco situation. Sure, they did win a force buy of their own, right? But later on down the half, again, they have, you know, the reins, and once there's only sort of pistols on the side of Falcons, like you can see this, why is Kersey like trying to flank here against a half buy in a 5v5? That's just like a really, really poor move. And now Rez is in an all-in position.
Yeah.
When Kersey already gave info that there's more guys there, why isn't someone down Vents? Why aren't you, if Rez is doing this, why isn't ZTR already down? Maybe 2 guys even. You're trying to sort of invite them with that forward position from Rez instead of he just gets traded, right? And then this retake is really difficult for them. And again, it felt like they had things under control, and this round sort of sends them spiraling.
Yeah, it's a good round. I mean, this is a good shot from for Kicks and really saves the day here.
This really is what's holding GamerLegion back.
Okay.
You know, like this happens, and even more so when they get to the stage. But this is where you sort of start scratching your head and are like, what, you know?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Well, it's funny because it might have cost them the game, but it almost cost Falcons the game as well. Like, both of them were sometimes sketchy in these mid-round situations. I like, honestly, if you can't tell, I really hated some of the mid-rounds on the CT side from Falcons. It was really, really uncomfortable for me watching. I didn't see, like, a whole lot of, maybe it is the communication as you're alluding to, but just the ability to just, like, be patient, get in position, wait for your teammates on the other side of the map to get ready, and then retake a bomb site collectively together. And that's basic, fundamental Counter-Strike that they were missing out on. So, yeah, a scrappy game that we're going to write off to first game with the new team, first game coming out of the break. Let's see how map 2 goes. Maybe it just took one map and they're all warmed up now.
Yeah, let's see, because, you know, still the big three for Falcons was at the top of the scoreboard, right? And Monesi had a lot of great moments.
Great to see with Nico as well. I mean, with some of the struggles he's had through CS2, I felt like there's a world in which he could have kind of, like, disappeared into, like, the younger talent.
Well, especially on Nuke, right? Like, Nuke has been a nightmare for him in the last couple of months, had some of his career worst performances. So, in this sort of a mixed role, but now on T side, he's not Yard anymore. Kyosuke is the main Yard player, at least it looks like. Maybe it's strat dependent, whether they just want to send one guy Yard or multiple people there. We'll have to wait and see for a bigger sample size. But yeah, as you can see here, they were all contributing.
All contributing. Well, they're all going to have to contribute again. Map 2 is going to be Mirage, Yanko, and obviously, you know, yeah, you're giggling already.
Map 2 will be Mirage.
Like Kyosuke and Monesi have played like 1,000
Map 2 Mirage.
You have to imagine, right?
In their
Mirage.
ripe old age of 13 or whatever it is.
G2 are playing versus Furia on DB stream.
This is where you feel like they know every nook and cranny of the map, every little move, every little peek, every
Di stream
little play
di YouTube stream cuman
Yang sekarang kita nih grup A.
Yeah,
Eh,
well, again, we'll have to see if there's going to be a wrinkle
grup
throughout
B kah dia
the mix,
berarti
considering
maksudnya?
the gameplay of Rez and PR. If those guys can have good games, especially off catwalk, if you can control middle, which is going to be hard against the likes of Nico, Kaisuke, and Monesi, and Kixon's
Tunggu
going to be
tengok.
there as well in mid. Like, that's going to be a hard
Thumbnail
thing, but if they can
grup
at least
A.
control that part of the map, you're going to have a fighting chance, right? Like, middle of the map is king.
Coba kita lihat.
That's what you're
Judul.
hoping for, right? And some of the early signs
Nah,
also
aku SS.
from
Nggak ada, ini aku buka seorang
has a
SL.
lot of adapting to do to tier 1.
Grup
You know, there
A lot
was
of repeats.
grup B kok.
peaks there which
Thumbnail?
really show
Di aku ada.
you know, in a-
Belum update,
against
di update dia.
Like, those are moves that you just
Anjay.
can't go for in tier 1, and it's going to be very telling for his future on this lineup. How quickly can he
Berarti sebelah nih apa nih?
Because right now he's behind the curve.
Behind the
Eh,
curve. GamerLegion
oh,
is behind the curve in the series.
Vitality dulu berarti habis
Zero to GamerLegion.
ini ya.
Mirage is up next in the second map of the
Vitality
series.
Astralis,
Break, and we'll be right
G2
back.
Furia, Ends ngelawan 3D Max sama ini apa ya yang baru tuh? Yang huruf A warna biru tuh tim apa ya?
Nggak tahu. Grup A warna biru.
Heeh.
Tim
Heeh.
A warna biru.
Heeh.
Tim
Heeh.
A warna biru.
Heeh. Heeh. Heeh.
Nggak tahu aku.
Yang kemarin ini aku screenshot.
Oh itu.
Ah.
Aurora Gaming.
Aurora.
Santares dan kawan-kawan.
Ya. Yang Santares ya berarti ya.
Itu Eternal Fire yang migrasi tim.
Outsider ada enggak? Tim apa? Tim
Outsider tak ada.
kan yang Cina lama tuh.
Oh,
Ah,
Mongolia.
Mongol kah?
Tim Mongol.
Yang Jam, iya kah?
Oh, nggak tahu.
Yang opernya si Jam tuh.
Mzinho tak ada mana. Oh iya, Mongol tak ada.
Iya kah? Apa anjir Falcon LGBT Pride?
Wah, dia ada. Di Mongol ada. Malam dia main.